As you share your Wycliffe ministry with others, some of them are going to be people that you know very well, but there'll be others that you'll run into that you don't know that well. And so how do you get a conversation started? How do you talk with them, especially if you're a little more introverted than extroverted? We have a little tool called the Friendship Stack, and I'd like to share that with you just so that you can get an idea of conversation starters that will help you to get into the message or into the story of how God called you, perhaps, kind of break the ice. So I want you to think in your mind the following images. It starts with a nameplate, a big nameplate. And on top of that nameplate is a house. And in this house, there's kids, and there's a wife and a husband, and they're there waving out the windows. And out of the chimney now of that house is a glove. And in that glove then is an airplane. And in the propeller of the airplane, instead of a propeller, there's a tennis racket. Okay, you got that so far? Well, let's add to it a little bit more. In that tennis racket is a light bulb blinking on and off, on and off. On top of that light bulb is a Canadian Royal Mounted Policeman. Sounds a little far-fetched, doesn't it? Well, there's more. Coming out of the policeman is a pair of American football goalposts. And hanging on those goalposts is a trophy. And on top of that is a bouquet of flowers. That's the picture that we want you to have in your mind. Now, let's take a break and then think about that a little bit more. Think about those images in your mind. Okay, here's what the interpretation of the stack is. The nameplate, of course, is what is your name? And so it's always good to start with getting to know who they are. The house with the kids and the wife and the husband in it is, do you have family? And so you get to share a little bit about that. Coming out of the chimney is the glove. It's a work glove. Where do you work? What do you do? The airplane that's in the work glove is a question that gets into travel. Do you like to travel? Kind of your hobby type thing in terms of traveling. And then the propeller, which is a tennis racket, gets more into hobbies or leisure time. What do you like to do with your free time? Those are kind of the surface things that kind of get you going and started. But now the next ones, the next images are a little more deeper. As you go along, you may use these, you may not. The light bulb blinking on and off, on and off. It's like that commercial from Ford. Ford has a better idea and blink, the light comes on. What are your ideas about? And you might think about some issue that's going on, especially related to them and where they are. And so, what are your ideas about? And then finish the sentence. On top of that light bulb, remember, is a private first class Royal Mounted Policeman. And that gets into what are your problems, frustrations, or concerns that are going on in your life right now. On top of this private first class is the goalpost. What are some of the goals that you have for your life? Then what are some accomplishments that you have achieved? What are some things that you have done and enjoyed doing? And then finally is the bouquet of flowers. Some affirmation. You're giving them some affirmation and thanking them, blessing them. There's a last one that I didn't add, and that's a pair of folded hands praying. And as you have talked with people, especially if you've gotten to these last few images and that we have given you on this stack, you might want to say, can I pray for you? So this is just a little bit of some tools, that a little help for you called the Friendship Stack that might help you get started with the conversations that can lead into talking more about your ministry with Wycliffe and what God has called you to do.